Airports are strange places for realizations about your family. Everything there feels temporary. People moving, announcements echoing, the scrape of luggage wheels across the floor. It's a place built for departures. Maybe that's why the moment hit the way it did. I found them over by gate 18. My sister was sitting there, legs crossed, scrolling on her phone. My dad had a coffee in hand. My mom was reorganizing the same purse she's had for 15 years. Suitcases were lined up next to them, like they'd already made themselves at home. "Hey," I said. My sister glanced up first. "Oh," she said, not surprised, just a little amused. "You actually made it?" I asked. "I would," she said, leaning back in her chair with a smirk. "Well," she added, "we didn't book you a seat." I thought she was joking. "Figured you'd cancel anyway," she said. My dad let out a chuckle. My mom just shook her head, like this was all just typical family chaos. "You're always so busy," she said. The boarding screen above us flickered from boarding soon to now boarding. For a moment, I just stood there, my backpack slung over one shoulder. "You didn't book me a seat," I repeated. My sister shrugged. "You usually end up working or backing out," she said. "Figured we'd save the money." My dad took a sip of coffee. "You'll figure something out," he said. Then the gate agent called their group. They stood, gathered their things, and stepped into the line without much hesitation. My sister glanced back once. "See you when you get there," she said casually. Then they scanned their boarding passes and walked down the jet bridge, just like that. I stayed where I was. The terminal buzzed around me, people talking, phones ringing, the sound of someone dragging an oversized suitcase across the tile. I sat down slowly in one of the empty chairs near the window. The runway outside looked grey, endless. 10 minutes earlier, I'd been sitting in the cafe near security with a coffee going cold in my hands. That was when I checked the reservation confirmation again. Flights, hotel, airport transfers, a week-long vacation, all booked under my account, my card attached to every line. It wasn't unusual. For years, I'd been the one who handled things. Family trips, emergency repairs, a last-minute tuition payment when my sister switched schools, even my parents' car when the engine gave out. I'd never really given it much thought. Helping felt easier than explaining why I didn't want to. But staring at the reservation that morning, something finally clicked into place. They expected the support. They just didn't expect me. I opened the airline app on my phone, scrolled to the payment authorization, and cancelled it. No anger. Just a quiet correction. Now, I sat at the gate while their plane got ready for departure. A gate agent walked past me, speaking into a headset. Somewhere down the terminal, an announcement echoed for another flight. My phone buzzed. I looked down. A message from my sister, "Did you get a ticket?" Another buzz followed right after. Then my dad's name appeared. I didn't open either message. At the desk, the gate agent started calling a few passengers back from the boarding line. Something about a payment verification. I watched a small group of people gather near the counter, looking confused. Then I stood up. I picked up my backpack and walked away from the gate. By the time I reached the escalator leading down to baggage claim, the boarding announcement had started again over the speakers. I didn't wait to hear the rest. Outside, the parking structure smelled like concrete and cold air. I sat in my car for a minute before starting the engine. My phone buzzed again. More messages now. Questions, short sentences, confusion. I turned the phone face down on the passenger seat. The engine hummed quietly. For years, I believed the thing holding our family together was effort. Planning, helping, covering gaps when things didn't quite work out. But sitting there in the quiet of the car, another thought settled in. If the support disappeared, maybe the relationship had never been what I thought it was. I backed out of the parking space and drove toward the exit. The airport faded behind me in the mirror. For the first time in a long time, I wasn't heading somewhere for them. I was just leaving.